And he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Chuck this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. Just run the other way. Still going back. The drag walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money.
Takes a shot for Derby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
Yeah. Okay. StreamYard. Copy. Messenger. What is up, all? Sorry. Okay, so we are out here. I am out here. Welcome into Pitchfork Lunch, first and foremost. I am Michael Carstino at Diablo005 underscore and X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. We're going to do it this way. It's going to be perfect because we're not going to get any of that light in the background. But yes, we're going to hear from Coach Bartlett. We're going to hear from Yaya Acuna, and shortly, Ashton here. All right, see, look at this. I told you. Oh wait, she is not me. I am not her. She is way more talented. So hold on, we'll get rid of that in 1 second. Yes, this is Ashley Mejia, as you guys know. I even got my Sun Devil softball shirt. And real quick, before I ask a few questions for you. So last year when you guys were giving these away, I was walking out to my car post game. I was the last car out, and somebody did not take care of this. They left it dropped on the street, and I'm like, I'm not about to try and return it. So this is where I got this. Obviously, I would have got one anyway, but I bought it proudly. But let me ask you this. I got to start with this because you're talking about obviously winning the Big 12 against Texas Tech, beating that team down south first on Friday night. I know it gives extra energy, but when you make the last put out, especially with Texas Tech, I mean, I love the spike, but why not keep the ball to give to coach?
Oh, I don't know. I just throw everything. We won, so let's just throw everything.
I love the spike, though. It is a great celebration. Yeah. What do you feel like between – I know we talked about like this year and last year, like as a freshman, but like you and like Tiara obviously getting the experience, especially defensively. Mm-hmm. How do you feel that this team has grown defensively this year? I mean, especially like up the middle. I know obviously Kaylee transfers in, but and then AJ was solid at short. Now you get Brooklyn, and then inside Tiara, and then obviously Sam behind the plate. Just how, and you being in right field, but just up the middle. I know everybody talks about that. How much has that the strength of that defense grown up the middle for you guys?
I always say it, like, one, it's growth, but experience as well. Like, I've been an outfielder my whole life, so it's not like I came into college and was like, oh, let's switch this girl to the outfield. So, like, having that experience in travel ball in high school was way different than the college outfield experience. And I feel like I needed that year under my belt to develop and know what balls I can get to and what I need to work on, throughout the summer. So, like, that's what I kind of focused on when summertime came. Okay, like, I struggle with this, and that. So this is what I need to focus on. And I feel like I had time and the knowledge to, kind of clean up the things that I needed to. So I feel like the biggest thing that helped me, talent can only take you so far, but a lot of people talk about experience, and I didn't believe it until, I came into my second year.
Yeah, because Coach talked about that. She let us know before you guys came in last year, like, you and Sarah, she had some dogs coming in. Now, you mentioned, like, the cheering. How were you leading the cheering in the third inning against Texas Tech? I mean, not one, not two, but 3 home runs in an inning against that team. It's like, first of all, the game should probably be over because that happened. It's like, whoa, are you kidding me? But like with you leading the way in the cheers, but what was the energy like in the dugout just to see all 3 of those balls? I mean, and then especially go back to back. I mean, was it Emily and Katie go back to back? Tanya leads it off. But what was the energy like in the dugout?
Honestly, it was very ecstatic. It was crazy because we're in the championship game. Like, it's just such a movie storyline. Championship game, people are hitting home runs off a number 1 pitcher in the nation, supposedly. It's just like it's we just kept it going. It's like, okay, we have this in the bag. And I feel like the dugout was like that all 3 games. Like, no matter who we were playing, like, we were up. And I think that's what really carried us throughout all the games. Like, staying engaged was a really big thing. You need to stay engaged when you're playing competitive teams like that. So
it's awesome, Ash. I mean, it is insane. And then for Tanya to obviously hit dingers off the pitchers of the year in the Big 12,
like, it's
phenomenal.
Nothing.
You've all gotten big hits, but when you look at that going into regionals, knowing obviously the experience like you said you had last year, but now going into this year, knowing obviously going to be tough territory, but what do you take from last year and the growth of this team and then going into this year, outside of probably being more confident, not cocky, but confident going in, and now you have some teams that you can definitely beat.
That being ourselves wins us games, like regional or not, postseason or not. We're gonna play our game, and we're gonna stay the Sun Devils. We've always been scrappy. We always say ratchet run sometimes, but we're a good hitting team, and we have a lot of experience. A lot of girls that even transferred didn't know what it's like to be in postseason. Kaylee knows what it's like to be in postseason. So just having that, like, experience is the biggest thing this year. We have a lot of the olders, stepping up and like leading us straight into the regional.
well, from the pitching to the hitting. So, did you guys? Lastly, you got to know, did you guys surprise Coach Bartlett? Obviously, the Big 12 Championship's a great early birthday present, but Coach Bartlett birthday present today. Anything surprise?
Not yet. Maybe in Texas, she'll be in
all
for a surprise.
All right, I like that. I like that. Well, look, hell of a season. Obviously, thanks for making your Pitchfork Lunch debut. Your mom always gives you big shout outs. I love it. The garb and everything is awesome. So, good luck in regionals.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully, we can catch up and sit a little longer when you get back with the regional victory. How about that? You know, I'm a homer here on Pitchfork Lunch. We have more coming up, and Ashley Mejia she's going to go now. She's got to get out of town. See you. All right, guys. So a little bit madness here on Pitchfork Lunches. We are out at Farrington Stadium Club. Farrington, you just saw Ashley Mejia, kind enough to take a few minutes. Again, she had to bounce around to another interview, but kind enough to take a few minutes. Absolutely awesome. They're getting ready to go to College Station, go play A&M. Well, McNeese State. Sorry, I keep saying A&M. Well, they could run into A&M, obviously, because it's the Texas A&M regional, College Station regional. But that being said, but Ashley Mejia just here joining us. You guys, again, you kind of missed out on it. If you you guys definitely missed out on it. But again, we got more coming. So right now, actually, what I am going to do is we are going to hear from Coach Bartlett. One second. Look at this, man. I can't. This is not Coach Bartlett, the birthday girl. Not Coach Bartlett. This is Logan Stanley. I'm sorry, I had to do that. And this guy, I mean, absolutely rocks because we're look. He has to cover everything here at ASU, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
For the
Got very
for
lucky.
the good old, I know, and now we're like talking Big 12 salt, like you said. So I tell everybody, it's the funny story about this shirt is this is from last year. They do giveaways, obviously football, everything, basketball. Everybody has a giveaway. So somebody hit them. Well, I did post game, finish up my post game, go out to my car.
Mhm.
Pretty much last car a lot. Last one out, turn the lights off, right, Logan?
Yeah.
Somebody won this and did not treat a Sun Devil garb with respect. It was on the ground by my tire.
Pick it
Logan.
up, man. Show Sparky some respect,
Okay,
right?
well, first of all, there was nobody to hand it to because I was like, I'm last man here. I'm like, I'm not going to be like, bring it back to the next game and be like, no.
Yeah.
So I always thank them for this, but hence that's why I have this for Pitchfork Lunch. So anyway, Logan's making his debut. We're done with cheesy stories, but man, okay, this is a team this year. See him play, obviously dealt with injuries, but man,
11-13 in the Big 12 in the regular season.
Could hit the ball out of the park, played defense, obviously had out of this world pitching.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenzie Brown, but even Mika Lupi, when you add, a freshman like Mary Peyton Hodge and Aisha Silva, who saw the light and wanted to, come to a real accredited university. She transferred from that school down south. But this is why I brought him on, because he's obviously been around. We've seen some Big 12 championships in a lot of sports. What for softball to do it, and especially in the way they did, you're here, it's the buzz, but program wise, obviously I know the answer to the question is okay, it is huge, but what are the huge parts of it? Because look, softball, people say ASU baseball. You don't even have to be from here, and you say ASU baseball throughout the country. You even growing up through the years. Yeah. But ASU softball is so good. But also, I was like, and their softball is not just and they have softball.
They're really good.
Their softball's really good.
They have a great history.
Yeah,
they have a phenomenal history, and here they are building on it and adding to the great legacy. I believe it's their first regional appearance since 2018. Yep. So here they are getting back on the stage.
18, 19,
either way. It's been quite a while, but Coach Bartlett, since being hired in 2022, has really taken her vision and brought it to the program and actually implemented it. And just looking, when I saw who they're going to play, Texas Tech, and I'm not going to pretend to be an avid follower of NCAA softball, but I know Texas Tech is. I know who Naraji is, and I know her NIL deal. That's the number one thing I know about softball. And the fact that they came in and took them down, one of the top-ranked teams in the nation,
100%.
it's absolutely phenomenal. And just
getting
incredible,
swept 2 weeks ago, everybody's talked about.
And incredible. And I was talking to Yaya, and she was mentioning how they were talking in the huddle, guys, we may not even make it out of this tournament. Our lives are on the line. And the fact they came, they're like I mentioned earlier, 11-13 in the regular season. They bounced back from that, and they took down a team with, we all know Texas Tech for the football roster, but they spend a lot of money on softball too. They do not
cut corners
on that at all. So I just, I'm not gonna, I don't know their NIL budget here, but I guarantee you, it does not equal even Naraji herself.
85% of, I want to say, and look, I might be speaking out of turn, but you softball. I'm right, because a lot of the ASU parents were saying they easily spent over $3.5, maybe $4 million just alone wrapped up in softball. And you're right. Kennedy's is almost $2 million.
Yeah.
So look, it is the way it is. And you mentioned Coach Barlow. Let me ask you this from a coaching standpoint, because obviously Tricia Ford was here, and again, she hasn't never coached with Tricia Ford, but Tricia Ford seeing the early things of NIL, it was tough here at ASU. A&M offers buku bucks. Look, nobody's going to fault a coach. Again, a job opened up. They fired their coach. They weren't happy. A job opened up. That was that. But for Coach Bartlett, like you said, when she comes in and most of the team transfers, whether they talk to her or not, they put themselves in the portal, see what they could do. And again, there was a lot of talent that bounced. But people say, okay, this is her fourth year, but in her third year, she's back in regionals. From your point, seeing coaches do this,
it really is incredible, because I also want to reiterate the fact that this is another Big 12 title for ASU since entering the conference. I believe you mentioned it was 8 that they've won across all the sports, if you factor in swimming as well. Tennis is one as well, right?
The women won they hosted a region. They won the regular season. You look at, obviously, men's swim and dive went back to back. Women's swim and dive. National back to back. Coach Boehm, phenomenal there. Then you think what Coach Van Niel did last year in the Pac-12. And people say, he was, and you can say it's a lot, but he was about 3 matches away, winning 3 more matches, which they were in, away from winning the Pac-12 with Stanford, who was crushing it that year, Oregon, Oregon State, who USC, you get what I'm saying? Like, so Coach Van Neal, back-to-back years in the Big 12, only one loss in conference play. That's what I wanted to bring you on, Mr. Logan Stanley, because just thinking of it is, yes, it is electricity, but man, when you see like, and obviously football, volleyball won it 2 weeks later, football won the Big 12 championship, but that energy, like, everybody wants NIL, but like recruiting wise and everything, like what is like, when you're coming from the outside, yes, it makes it more fun for us. My show's a Homer show, but I mean, it makes it more fun, but at the same time, like you could, I mean, program wise, like, you hit it out of the park on every coach.
I'm going to keep it really simple. Activate the Valley. And that's what's been done all across the board. And I don't want to always bring it back to Kenny in football, but, I really believe that his hiring was kind of a focal point and a turning point for the university as a whole. And he's always been a huge supporter of ASU as a whole. He doesn't just want the football team to be great.
Right.
He wants every single program on the campus to be great. I mean, he was out at the flag football tournament, and they're not even a real team yet. They're a club team yet. He's out there showing support, and I did ask him, would you want this to become a varsity sport? He said yes. So this is someone who wants the whole university as a whole succeed. Right. And here Coach Bartlett is doing it pretty early on. If grand scheme of things, people, 4 years is quite a while. Well, if you big picture, she's gonna be here for a long time.
Right.
And also when you add in the fact,
but NIL, like it's just it's not a long time.
But also when you add in the fact that the history of this program and the expectations, multiple college World Series titles won by this program.
Right.
This isn't a program that you're hoping to lead to the first.
Right.
You're hoping to continue a great legacy, and that people don't realize the burden that comes with. And I guarantee Coach Bartlett won't talk about it or mention it, but that's something that does. It's on our mind.
Right. And the other thing I want to say to you too, the piggyback off Logan's great point there is, like, even though yes, it was her first and second year in the Pac-12, but like, not winning some of those games in the Pac-12, I mean, fans look like, they're trying to stay upbeat because, like you said, with this program, it's like same thing with baseball when Willie came in. Like, again, and you bring up a great example. I mean, Kenny Dillingham with, Activate the Valley. But like I said, ASU baseball was one of those things growing up, like, people came, like, I mean, like, it was funny because Coach Brock, I mean, God rest his soul, rest in peace, but like Coach Brock, I remember getting to talk to him. Like, I mean, I wasn't recruited for baseball because I told you we were talking about this out of football. I couldn't hit. I could get on base and steal, but I had to get hit by the pitch or something because for some reason, like, I'd make contact, but like always right to a defense. Like, mind blowing. For years I played baseball, but talking to Jim Brock, and then even getting to talk to, I mean, I love Pat Murphy. Like, getting to talk to Murph, like, it's like, it recruits itself, and it's like, man, you have so many people. It's like, man, your recruiting department, because you know as well as I do, baseball, football, whatever. Like, man, they got to look through a lot of tapes, and some, like me, might not be as good, but want to come here, but ASU baseball, when they were having that little slide, like, it's okay, Willie comes in, and they expect, like, well, like, okay, you want to win. Like, exactly. Like, Coach Brown, dominant player at Notre Dame. Look what she did in her career.
Yeah.
Oh, she was up also. Oh, then she's an assistant at, and they came off a national title. Like,
I mean,
I'm just saying the whispers. And again, not that they were, like, what I want to say, not that they were, like, vulgar or negative, but at the same time, it's still, like, the frustration of, okay, you got players, like, you did this, like, win in the pack. And like I said, like, last year to go to regionals, losing 2, but this year.
Building. And I know it's hard to ask fans to be rational, but Bartlett probably came in at one of the most tumultuous times a coach could
100%.
come into it. Not only a new school, 100%. But you're switching conferences. And then the whole overarching narrative of NIL is just completely upending college sports. Like, as we know it.
Yeah, but her first year, like, it was, okay, maybe, what conference, who's going to leave here. Yeah. So it's like first 2 seasons of Pac-12, and then obviously last 2 seasons of Big 12, and it's like, wow, it's like, okay, but it's like, and again, and to the question that I was asking you, like, being in the Pac-12, whether it be softball or baseball wise, like, going to the Big 12, it's like, there's some good teams, but it's very solid teams. And I get Oklahoma went to the SEC, but look, I mean, like I said, going to watch baseball as a kid, and even coming up and watch softball, I mean, you saw those UCLA teams. For me to vomit, the only time I say their school name, Arizona, see Arizona come up here, like, when I was younger, and just, I mean, through the, once they started the College World Series, I mean, through the, the 80s into the 90s, UCLA, Arizona, Cal, UCLA, Arizona, and then ASU, like, breaks through, and like, in Washington, it's like, you're ready to go play anywhere because you're recruiting against that. But now, like you said, the money, it makes it insane.
Yep.
So when you look at this, I mean, softball, we heard Brooklyn Allers say, maybe after Ashley Mejia, maybe after bringing home, a national championship. Yes, regionals is the first step, but if that does happen, because again, you got to think that, You got to think that Gramercy hit a home run with coaches. Yes, Kenny Dillingham. Everybody says.
Yeah, I haven't given Graham a shout out. Graham deserves a huge shout out.
People remind me that obviously Ray Anderson hired Kenny Dillingham.
Yep.
That was right. And again, not that he didn't see his vision.
Went out with the bang, I'll say.
Yeah, exactly.
Went out with the bang.
Hire Kenny Dillingham. But yeah, Gramercy, and I've talked about it on the show, has done a phenomenal job. But I mean, to hit it out of the park, and yeah, every coach wants to win. But let me ask you this, because when you're covering it, me being an alum, when I talk, but when you hear the alum coaches, like, yeah, obviously these coaches, they want to win, they care. But when you hear the alum coaches talk about it, in the stuff you've interacted with them, whether it be with Coach Dillingham or Coach Bloomquist or Missy Farquet, I was out at golf, and it's just like, and even Coach Thurman, like, but when you're around them, do you just feel that like it means more? Like even Coach Powers. I mean, when I hear Coach Powers talk, it's like, yeah, I mean, I know all the other coaches care, but and Coach Party, I keep naming him, but at water polo. But like, what about your experience? Like, do you feel like it just, like, when they're delivering your message, it just means people can hear? It just means a little more to them.
It's a great question you're asking, and I have the perfect answer, because I was a student reporter at Kenny Dillingham's initial press conference, and people forget that wasn't fake what he was doing. He literally could not speak because he was so choked up. That's how much it meant to him. And I cannot tell you how much you see that passion in him and every day, and why I'm so confident as someone who covers a team, or as a number 2 reporter who covers a team, in him leading the program. And when all those Michigan rumors were swirling, we heard the dollar amount. We all know Michigan. I was still pretty confident that he was going to come back, because he genuinely loves this area and loves this school with a passion. And that's something that I always tell everybody with Kenny Dillingham: you cannot buy his passion.
Right.
You cannot. There's nowhere else you can go out and find that. You cannot manufacture it. It's so genuine with him, and it goes such a long way. So with him.
Right. And I mean, and you hear like Willie too. Like, I love hearing Willie. If you've ever seen him talk post game, it's always like, he is like to the point. Like, if something's not good, like, he's not out to, again, just always look at the net. He'll talk about the positives, but if something's bad, with the pitcher, if the offense isn't doing something, he has no problem, because the authenticity, and again, you get it from I'm not saying you don't get it from all the other coaches, but the authenticity is, he's already said it to his guys. Like, you're abandoning your hitting plan. Like, you've abandoned it. Like, this is why we left 15 runners on base. Like, he has no problem, like, straight shooting everybody. And to me, that's like, but yeah, I mean, the passion with Coach Dillingham and talking even to,
and it extends, and
and like Coach Bain. Did you ever see? You mentioned Coach Bain. Did you see his Instagram like video post when after Coach Bowman? And again, I love Coach Bowman. It was great.
Yeah.
Do I fault him? Was I mad on this show? Yes, that he went and took the Texas job. But do I understand that for people? This is what I said this to you at football practice. Remember, people that like, they say, fans that say, well, nobody cares about Olympic sports. Go look, because I refuse to do it for any of you, especially the haters, and not that you pitchfork lunchers are haters, but go look and see what Texas paid Coach Bowen, because that's public record. I know. Go look it up and tell me that they don't care about Olympic sports and winning, especially when they say, well, it's the University of Texas, whatever. But my point to that is Coach Bain's video. Like, had a coach that, like, he was talking. He's like, man, he swam here. He was with Coach Bowman, and some people were like, oh, isn't that kind of maybe a lazy hiring? I'm like, do you know the guys? I go, okay, to answer your question fairly, you could say yes, but do you know his resume? And he's been here, and I go, what he's done. And so, but like, his video was the same way. He got like a little, he's like, man, he goes, I'm sorry. And he finished out his video making that he was staying here at ASU. Absolutely awesome. You mentioned the coaches, because I was at a tennis. I saw Coach Dillingham, Coach Van Neal, Coach Van Neal hits every sport. Like, I've seen him out. He's women's water polo. He played in the baseball, softball, the baseball, the celebrity alum celebrity softball game. He came out and made the first. Come on, Coach Bartlett let him throw out the first pitch. And he was nervous about that. Coach Party came out and threw the first pitch here as well. But I know people always say family. But you've seen it. People see it from my view, because I have maroon and gold, shaded eyes, and everything's through that vision. But with these coaches, you mentioned, but you see it like, and I know you're a student reporter here, but like, have you, when you've talked to other athletes, other coaches, like other schools. Like, I'm not saying they don't support, but have you seen it like that?
Oh yeah, it's truly a genuine difference here, and I've only had a brief dabble with covering professional sports. I had to briefly help out with our Phoenix Suns coverage in this postseason, and you can really see the difference when it's a talking, and I also watch sports interviews, and you see the way they feel about each other, and it really does feel like a family. But it's all across the board that these sports are kind of built. It's never been more transactional than it is, more widespread. And to be here, and Kenny mentioned went on a tirade 2 seasons ago, not tirade, but a rant, but saying, was vouching for him, and then he ended up leaving,
Right.
even though Kenny talked to him almost like a son. So just to have that real, and you hear the players talk about it too.
Right.
They talk about like it's just the atmosphere here is genuine and here to produce something for them. Yes, they are here to do that, but they do care about their well-being and just how they are as people. So be right now as NIL takes over college sports, and that's where we're going. And
I mean, full circle it obviously back to softball. Look, they're headed to College Station and A&M.
should be leaving.
They're dumping money. I mean, everybody remembers Jimbo Fisher's contract. She called herself the elder teammate in the beginning of the season because sixth year, and obviously going through COVID and all that crazy stuff. But having experience leading the team, but for this softball team to like I said, just feed off that energy and other athletes coming out, it's phenomenal. But
it adds momentum.
If they could bring home. And look, you can't spell, you guys know you can't spell fanatic without fans, so I'm a little bit fanatical here. But they're in the postseason. They got to the dance here. They just won the Big 12 team down south. Remember that. They worked you first on the way there. But from your side, I mean, winning, getting to the College World Series would be huge. But say they get to the College World Series, and there could be quite a few. There could be a few Big 12 teams there.
Yeah.
Look, you look at the brackets and who's all
Tech's
going.
going to be there for sure. You know what I mean?
Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Baylor's kind of one of those tricky teams. I mean, could they make it all depends on. I mean, Arizona's got to travel all the way across the country for their regional. Yeah. So, but the Devils, in your eyes, like say Coach Bartlett does deliver a regional and then a super regional, but delivers a national title softball wise.
It's hard to describe how momentous that would be because softball, it may not be football or basketball, but softball is still a huge sport. Like it's still incredibly popular. Like the readership for the high school level at our newspaper is really high for softball. There's a professional league. It's an emerging sport on that end. So it would be. When was the last? I forget. When,
2011. Last national title.
Okay, so look for the program to win a national title and show, hey, like we are not just here to win Big 12 titles, but we're here to win national titles as well.
Right.
So,
right. No,
kind of riding right now all across different sports.
Right. Like to wrap it up, but like the coaches that have been out, like what the hell? Okay. Disappeared. Oh, it disappeared. Oh. I know it's for me and Logan to get out of here. You jumped in, and it's funny because you saw even the casual fan, like I won't say a non-sports fan, but just a casual sports fan. Like you say, Texas Tech, any team that wins 50 games in the regular season, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Texas.
Like even I knew who they were.
I talked to people. I'm like, Texas. They're like Texas. I'm like, yeah, they're playing Texas Tech. Like, oh, didn't? Oh, like. They won a lot of games this year. Somebody's like, didn't they win like 55 games? I'm like, don't give them too much credit. They won 50, which is a ton.
Yeah.
But I mean, just absolutely insane. So he helped me out with for it. Look, tomorrow we'll recap women's golf because they were making their charge at the Stanford Regional. Stanford on their home course. Yeah, they were playing well, but whatever.
It's a great golf course. I've ran
Palo Alto,
I had to run there a few times for cross country. It's really nice.
It is.
It's beautiful.
Well, that's what I said yesterday on the show. I'm like,
it's huge.
The Devils didn't get to host, but I'm like, they hosted, and they played there in the fall. But a lot of these girls in the Pac-12 had started in the Pac-12, have played there, so they made a charge yesterday. And Patience Rhodes she double bogeyed 15 the first day.
Oh,
Logan, you know what you done on 15 yesterday?
what?
Hit an eagle.
Let's go.
So you go
dude.
from double bogey to
The
eagle.
eagle?
It was absolutely phenomenal. Or yes, I already talked about that. Patience Road Sports stuff. But tomorrow, look, we are going to hit golf. We're going because they're going to be done. We're going to see where they're going. Look at for my updates on the good old X. I'll show you as you can. Oh no, it's not popping up. Never mind. But at Diablo005. Oh wait, it kind of popped up. At Diablo005 on X
There you go.
underscore because I got hacked. I didn't open and everybody on Pitchfork Lunch shows,
got one
no,
of
I didn't
yeah.
open. I
Yeah,
didn't open it.
I don't know how
I
they're
didn't
doing it.
open
It's crazy.
any of it. And
crazy.
my old account followers, but you guys forks up, you've been back. So look, I'm gonna get out of here. Logan's got to get out of here. We got
Thank
stuff
you, guys.
to do. But yeah, we're gonna have, like I said, women's golf tomorrow. We'll talk more baseball because yes, they need to sweep Houston. Houston is atrocious. They might not be, but they have their record. Their record is atrocious. They, as people, aren't. Their baseball record is atrocious. So Willie and them need to get a sweep there. So we'll talk about that. We'll recap golf. The women should be headed because it was looking good before I started the show. I just want to tell you they're looking good in that top spot to go to the next level. So, and they were chasing down old Pac-12 foe Oregon State as well. So we're gonna get out of here. But yes, have a nice, phenomenal rest of your Wednesday.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Mike days at Hump Day. Woo woo. That's for my mom. Because till this day, outside of Mikey Likes It, that is her favorite all-time commercial with my name in it. And because, yes, there's a camel that's pretending to talk. And my mom, little Italian mama, I love her. She'll smack me for this. But, yeah, have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Again, golf, baseball, and, we'll talk more softball and see what Coach Bartlett got for her birthday. But, yeah, all that coming up tomorrow on Pitchfork Lunch. And you guys know it, as always. Thanks for reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. It is hashtag our state, school down south. That's for you to remember. Go Devils. And, yes, you guys know it. As always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. I'm a Sun Devil, man. to Arizona State. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Poole, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis swings it to Scatterboom. Scatterboom breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another Scatterboom is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
This deep this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. Still going back. After drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for